Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you all. What am I going to say today? Today, we're going to experiment a little bit. We're going to do some investigation. So I hope you join me in that. And we're going to start off by stretching our physical body. And then we're going to look to the etheric body, and then we're going to look to the spiritual world. So let's start with our physical body. I'm on my computer screen today, so I'm going to have to keep adjusting it. So, sorry. Standing up. Dropping our chin to our chest and allowing the muscles around the back and around the back of the shoulders to soften and loosen. Remember, we can have this picture of our bones like warm toast and our muscles like butter. So everything can soften and relax. And then take our chin up to the ceiling. So we're looking upwards and then down again. And then we're going to do slow, exaggerated nodding, bringing mobility into our neck, warming the space around our neck and our head. Good, and then stop there. Taking your head over to the left and the right. Remember that weather vane. We can go slower if you like, if you want to remember that picture of the weather vane. That weather vane, what I'm talking about, is imagining something behind your head turning to turn your head. Good, bringing your head back to centre, and we'll go to the shoulders. Let's roll our shoulders back, nice big circles. You might hear a bit of clicking, that's okay, as long as it doesn't hurt you. Imagine warming the space. I'm just going to adjust the brightness on my computer. Oops. Good, and then we're going to stretch the side of the body. So feet about hip width apart, reaching up above, taking hold of one wrist and pulling that arm up and over to the side. So stretching the side of our body, feeling those muscles soften, loosen and relax. Breathing nice and deeply as you go. Warming the space around your body. Good, and then reaching up and over to the other way. Same thing. Use your imagination to soften your muscles. Use your imagination to warm the space around your body. Good, coming up. We're coming to our hips, send your weight down one leg, pick your knee up, and then slowly make circles with your knee. You might want to hold on to a wall for balance, but we're working our ball and socket joint, warming the space. And the other way. Good, and put that leg down and we'll go to the other side. Feeling our muscles, our joints. Saying hello to our physical body. And the other way. Good. We'll do the feet and the hands at the same time. I'm going to adjust my computer screen so you can see. So taking one foot behind you, tucking your toes underneath and shifting your weight back. So you're stretching the top side of your foot. And at the same time, we can stretch the top side of our hands. Top side, I mean this side. So backs of the hands together, press your wrists down. This looks like this. Good, and then other side with your feet. Good, and we'll stretch the underside of our toes this time. So toes are on the ground, as they normally would be. Ball of the foot is up, and the back of the foot is going behind you. And at the same time, we can give our fingers a nice stretch. One finger at a time. We'll do the thumb as well. Good, and then other side, other hand, feet and hands. Good. We'll do another shoulder stretch. So if you have got a wall accessible, it's easier. Come to wall, place your hands on the wall. You could also do this on a desk, if you've got a desk or a table in your room, or a chair, the back of a chair. Place your hands on the wall, step back, drop your head, drop your chest, and we're aiming for a stretch along the front of our shoulders. Now, I said drop your chest. I actually said the wrong thing there. Bring your chest, or bring your ribs, the front of your ribs, back in line with your body. So your spine is aiming to be straight. So as we're stretching our shoulders here, the front of our shoulders, we can also imagine a rib cage lift at the back. So creating space between the back of your ribs and the back of your pelvis. The reason we don't want to drop our chest is because then we're just doing that to stretch our arms back, but we actually want our arms to stretch back. It's the thing I've been talking about over these last few sessions. Okay, very nice. And then coming up. So we're going to do a curl down now. And we're going to use our hands to feel the levity string. So chin is dropping to chest, eyes gaze down, head bows. Allow the weight of your head to take your body down. Feel that nice stretch over the back. Feel your imaginary waterfall running down your back. Hang down at the bottom. And then slowly in your own time, pushing the ground away, imagining that stream of energy running down your back, down the backs of your legs, into the floor, bring you back up. When your head comes up, feel that connection with your feet and the ground. We're going to do it again. This time, have your feet a bit wider apart. And gaze goes down, head bows. Feel that nice stretch at the back of the neck. Allow your muscles to be soft. All the way down. Now we've done this before. Take the palms of your hands and place them as near as you can to the arches of your feet. And as we come up, we're going to describe the levity string with our hands on our body. So as we come up, we're going to stroke the front side of our shins. We just go around the knees a little bit and the front side of our thighs, and coming up the chest, coming up the collarbones, and then going around the back of the head and up the sky. And we'll do that 2 more times. So when you're ready, eyes gaze down, head bows. Drop your head, lengthen the back of your neck, back. Allow gravity to pull the top half of your body down.
Taking hold of your arches as best you can with the palms. And then as you come up, brushing that levity stream up your body, up the front of your legs, up your torso, across your chest, around the back of your neck, and up the back of your head. One more time. Head bows. Allow your head and neck to be heavy. Allow your arms to be heavy. Take hold of your arches, brushing up the body. Good, and come to stand in your vertical. And let's do an opening exercise. So reach our fingertips down and away, being drawn out. Use your imagination. One more time. Okay, and as we stand here, feel the space around you. Feel your back space. Feel your front space. Feel the space between the two, the present moment. Feel the space beneath your feet. Feel the space above your head. And then feel your horizontal around your heart, expanding outwards. And then feel the space just below that horizontal plane. And feel the space above that horizontal plane. And then feel the right side of the space around you. And feel the left side of the space around you. And feel that sagittal plane, that middle space, that place of truth and clarity. Clear thinking. Okay, hold those thoughts for a moment, and I want to show you something on the computer screen. And we'll go back to moving. So, I was looking at the biology yesterday, and here we have a picture of what biologists talk about in terms of muscles. They have
the origin at the top or nearest the body, and they have an insertion point. So every muscle, they talk about the origin and the insertion. So the origin is closer to the body and the insertion is further away. And the insertion is connected to a bit that moves. And the origin is connected to a bit that doesn't move, that particular part of the muscle. So we can extrapolate this out and think of our limbs in space. I'm going to stop the sharing. We can think of what Jan was bringing from Rudolf Steiner's Study of Man, chapter 10 on Friday, that our limbs, the origin, is all the way out in the cosmos, in the universe, in the periphery. And they are the insertion point is our body. So that origin point is so far away, and we move our body, and our arm is attached to our body that moves on the earth. And this goes along with, let me just write in the Study of Man quote in the chat. He talks about it a lot in this, if you've ever read it. So one thing, he says, you must think of our limbs as inserted into the rest of our body rather than growing out from our centre. And the Greeks still had a very clear consciousness of this connection of the human being with a macrocosm, and the limbs as part of a great heavenly body which presses its radii into the human form. So I was thinking about this as I was moving yesterday, and let's stand up and prepare ourselves to move again. And I was thinking a lot of the times in our Bothmer, I give pictures that are very close to our body. I say, imagine the space under your arm lifting your arm, or imagine brushing your fingertips along the floor. And I thought, well, why don't we just go for reaching the edge of the universe with our fingertips? So that's what we're going to do. So imagine standing on the earth, because gravity connects us to the earth, and imagine this levity feeling connecting us to the universe. So we are beings that live on planet Earth, and gravity helps us stay here. And we are also beings that live in the spiritual world, or the universe, or the cosmos. And we can imagine this levity stream drawing us up and out into the cosmic field. So let's move our arm, let's choose one arm at the moment, and imagine the edge of the universe streaming into our arm and streaming into our body. Imagine that flow of energy coming in towards us. And then we can start moving as if the arm draws us somewhere. It's almost like a dance. Your fingers go, your hands go, and your arm draws you one way or another. Be pulled by this levity, this joy, this freedom. Let's try the other arm. The arm moves, and that pulls you in one direction or another direction. Be drawn out. Really touch the cosmos with your fingertips. Touch the universe. Touch the space. Touch the potential. Okay, and with that in mind, we're going to do an experiment here. So just as our ears can perceive sound and our eyes perceive light, we can think of our hands as perceiving space. So we can think of our fingertips as like the tuning quality, like tuning a radio dial. get to the right place, and our palms as the listening quality of what is there, the sensing, the feeling, what's there, what's around us. And we're going to move our arms and have our hands in 4 different positions to sense that space, and I'll guide you through. So standing in our vertical, feeling the space beneath the horizontal, the space above the horizontal, and our horizontal. Feeling the front space and the back space. Imagine your fingertips being drawn out by the universe, out to the periphery, and come up to the first part of our opening exercise. Palms are down. And feel with your fingertips and your palms what kind of, what senses are you perceiving with your fingertips and your palms? What is there? What are you sending out and what are you receiving back? And then turn your palms to face forward and we'll do the same thing. What are we perceiving? Really reaching out to the cosmos with your fingertips. And then turning our palms skyward or to the heavens. And what sense do you get from this position? And then turning your palms down and back. So it's a position we don't normally do in Bothmer, but for the purpose of our experiment today, to sense the space around us, let's turn our palms so they're facing behind us. And what can you sense and feel here from the space around you? Good. And then bring your arms down by your side. We're going to do it twice more. So what can we feel? What can we perceive? Reaching down with our fingertips, bringing our arms horizontal, palms down. Sensing the space beneath us, above us, in front of us and behind us, reaching out to the periphery with our fingertips. Turn our palms forward. What can we sense? In front, behind, above, below, and to the periphery. What's streaming into us? Turn our palms skyward, same thing. Above, below, in front, behind, to the periphery and to our center. Turn our palms to face rearward. Good, and bring our arms down. We're going to do it one more time and I'm going to not talk because I'm sure I'm putting some of you off. So let's go again. Turning the palms. Turning the palms to the heavens. Turning the palms rearward. And bringing our arms down. Okay, I'd like us to come to the computer screen, if you will. And if you are happy to do so, I'd love to hear any thoughts from you and hear any experiences or any perceptions or feelings that you've got. Katie, can you unmute us all? Oh, I can. I've just unmuted you all.
Great.
It's not working.
Maybe I'll share just one more thing before people start talking. And this is a picture of our radius and ulnar bones. And these are in our arm. And as you can see, when we're facing forward and our palm is facing forward, our bones are open. And as we turn our palm rearward from our body, these two bones cross. So there's a crossing when our palms are down and palms are facing behind, and there's an openness in these bones when our palms are facing forward and our palms are facing upwards.
Susan?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true, but so I've heard somebody say once that other animals can't do that crossy thing that humans can do. So that and this is what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but the opposable thumb, you know, that's often cited as the thing that humans can do that lots of other animals can't, and that's not quite true. Although there are others, a limited number of creatures who can do that. But this turn of the wrist, apparently, and the crossing of those bones is also quite unique to humans. Perhaps not completely, but yeah. So that crossing that comes is yeah, I think that's quite an interesting idea.
So that's uniquely human.
Yeah, that's the idea. I wouldn't be able to
Possibly. We need to research that.
Bit like is a fun little experiment you can do. If you imagine you can't turn this wrist, right? Imagine you can't do that. So this is always here. Now see what all the things you try and open a jar without being able to do that. So you can't do that. Or maybe you can. The experiment was like, what can you not do when your arm is like fixed in that place that you can't turn it here.
Can't do your screwdriver.
Yeah. You can't. Things you can't do, and the
You
idea
can't drive a car.
you can't. Yeah, that's why you don't see ducks driving cars. You see, 'cause they just can't do that. But I think like something to do with tools and how we can make tools and figure stuff out, and then that, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Thank you, Kevin.
But, yeah.
Lovely.
Susan, I'm always struck by your morning sessions and how they align either with so I'm just going to mute the excess sound, either with the morning session or at the moment with the challenge, the daily email challenge, because last night in the writing, what you brought here for lecture 10, study of man, is very much part of what's in the introduction for the exercise today. This picturing of our human beingness being formed of these three circles, and the last one being the origin of our limbs in the periphery. Yeah, it was really cool to have that in movement this morning in a different way. If only I could go back and add this link into the email for people to watch.
Everything's still, I think it's brilliant. I mean, nothing's finished, and you can keep putting it in, can't you? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. In terms of this morning, I really felt a difference in the qualities of yeah, the different spaces. And I appreciated that you'd brought the awareness beforehand, so that when our arms were out to the point, the awareness was out and aware of the direction of the palm. So this kind of warm quality in the different directions that it was facing. I did notice a difference, but I'm not sure I can really articulate it specifically in words at the moment. It's one of those things.
Yeah. Helena.
I found it very interesting when we were turning our hands the first time. It was really hard for me to feel anything at all when my palms were facing down. And I thought, well, my bad thoughts about myself, well, I'm really rubbish at this, I'm not feeling anything here. But then as soon as I turned my palms forward, I sensed love. And I didn't straight away realize that this is because I'm facing my hands forward. And then I turned my palms upwards and I felt this, this openness where you could plug into anything. So I thought, aha, okay, now we're getting somewhere. I'm starting to feel something. So how does this go when we go back to Earth? But then you took us back. And then I found it again really hard to perceive anything. And when we then took the palms back down again, I thought, okay, what is this? What is this? What am I feeling here? And realized I just had to become really, really subtle to realize the calm of the facing down. And it reminded me of my feeling when my two daughters were born. My first daughter, I had this immediate sense of overwhelming, sparkly, bubbly, all-encompassing love. But with my second daughter, it was totally different. And I was feeling guilty because I wasn't feeling anything, until I realized that it was just a different kind of love that was much deeper and much subtler and much softer.
Okay.
So I'm saying that because of the different qualities of the hands, sometimes it takes some time to really go in to feel what is actually going on. And I found that really precious that you brought it like this, that just through the change of the hand can make such a difference. But you have to be really still inside to hear it, feel it.
Yeah, thank you, Helena. That's a lovely picture. And also, you know, it's something that we can all really work on again and again. You know, you can do it every day, every moment of every day, listening and feeling. What is there? Is there something there? What can I feel? Is it true? Is it repeatable? I was sort of thinking about what Martin was saying on Friday, or scientific investigations into the spiritual world. You know, is it repeatable and is it true? So yeah, we can play with this forever. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for tuning in and having a look.